Hey y'all, guess who's back?
Rufus boy, let me love boy, what you know. Rufus boy, let me love boy, what you know. Rufus boy, let me love boy, what you know. Rufus boy, let me love.
I just wanted to kind of do a quick recap of January to run through the books that I read. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, if there was any ugly, and then kind of just show you guys what I plan to be reading in February. Short month, so I'm being a little optimistic, maybe a little overly optimistic with what I want to read, but anyways, I'll share that later. So the first book that I read was The Best Worst Man, or The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. And that was my first Mia Sosa read, and oh my gosh, it was phenomenal. Absolutely loved her work. The romance scenes were hot and steamy. The storyline was so good. I'm a fan, 100%. I think I gave that a 5-star rating. That was my first read to kick off the year, so that was really good for me. I really, really enjoyed that one. The next read, and some of this I covered in my last video with y'all that I read, was Heavy by Kiese Layman. God, I can't talk. Another phenomenal 5-star read for me. Really good memoir. He really does a great job of telling his story in just a different way than I'd ever seen before. And just, I was fascinated by, his story and the way that he grew up, the struggles that he had, especially with weight, because I know as an adult I struggle with that too. So very good memoir. Highly recommend. 5-star read for me. Then I read His Only Wife by Peace Adzo Mehdi. Again, another great book. I think you guys heard me talk about it in my last video, so go back to that for more details. But great story about a girl who gets married off to a guy. The guy's like stuck in a triangle and got this like secret girlfriend. Well, not really secret, but a girlfriend and a child, and the family marries him off to this girl so that she can basically claim him back for the family. So there's a lot of pressure riding on her. Really good story. And then within like the last 10%, plot twist, and it just, a lot happened. So highly recommend this one. Good one to pick up. I then read The Watsons Go to Birmingham. This is an old school book by Christopher Paul Curtis. I think it was written in the 90s, but Sunday, a few days ago, just recorded a podcast for the SSR podcast. You might remember that I was a guest on that podcast. I think it was over a year ago. It was maybe a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago. And I did Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. And this time we did The Watsons Go to Birmingham. Great YA story. Talks about racism in it and just their family dynamic of growing up in Michigan. So really good story, a classic novel. Glad I finally got to read that to discuss on the podcast, which should be releasing within the next week or so. So look out for that as well. And then, of course, our January book of the month, More Myself, A Journey by Alicia Keys. Such a great book. I love Alicia Keys as an artist. She's amazing. Her story was even more amazing to me. I loved hearing about how she grew up, her struggles, her relationship with her dad, and how it's kind of non-existent, and how she kind of resented him. The different love interests in her life, her current husband, how they met. It's a lot. A lot of things that she opens up and talks about. And so I really, really enjoyed her story, and I look forward to discussing it with the book club. And I will be posting the video. The video probably for that will be up before this one, so you'll be able to hear our thoughts on Alicia Keys' book. So those were my books, minus one. Minus one because it is an ebook. But yeah, I read 5 books in January, so I'm pretty excited about what I was able to accomplish. Like, 5 is a lot for me, especially I have a hard time at home with the pandemic, like being at home all day, not really getting to listen to my audiobooks like I would on my commute to work. So that's been a real struggle with me with trying to read. So I've kind of had to force myself to like peel away from the TV and actually carve out time to read each day. So my goal each day is to read an hour. We'll see. Again in January, and I want to kind of pull my current read up because right now I'm just a hot mess. So right now I'm reading Girl Gone Viral, Modern Love 2, number 2 by Alicia. So far so good. Not really too far in, probably about 20%, so I can't really give you a feel of what that book is for me, but I should be doing a recap at the end of this month so that you guys will know what my thoughts on that book. We are doing The Coldest Winter Ever reread, because the sequel is coming out in March, and we will be reading that as a book club, but don't tell anybody, it's kind of a secret. Not really, but most people know that that's what we're reading in March. So we're gonna do a recap, and then on February 24th, Jag by Birth and I plan to go on Instagram Live to discuss that. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and read this, and then connect with us on February 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Instagram. We will be going live to discuss and recap the book before the new one comes out on March 2nd. And then, of course, I have to have Lisa Crossman in here, This Close to Okay. She just released this novel earlier this week, and it just sounds amazing. I am a huge fan of Lisa Crossman. Y'all know that. I fell in love with Whiskey and Ribbons and Dalton, and I still love him so much, and I probably need to go back and read that book because that story just warmed my heart so much. So I'm super excited to read that one. And then Cicely Tyson, y'all. I'm excited for this book. Yeah, so sad. I don't even have the words that we just lost such a legend. And so I had already planned on reading her work, but now even more so, it just means that much more. So I plan to tackle that via audiobook. I'm excited to read this and learn more about her journey as a woman, because she is just amazing, or was amazing in so many ways, and so influential to the Black community. And so I'm really looking forward to reading that. And last but not least, Yellow Wife by Sadiqa Johnson. And this is our Book Girl Magic February book of the month. So I will be reading this month, and then we will go live with Sadiqa. I believe it's March the 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will chat with her on our Zoom chat and discuss the book. I've heard nothing but great things, so I'm so excited. I've been holding off on reading this one just because I knew it was going to be a book club pick, and I'm just excited for it to finally be able to read it now. So anyways, that's kind of a quick wrap up of my January reads, and a sneak peek into what my February reads look like. So very excited about everything that I've been reading so far to kick off 2021. And in a comment below, let me know what you guys are reading, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.